Wetzel Collier comments reflect WNBA's core problem: how it sees Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark and her army of fans are the WNBA's most valuable business asset. Not the most valuable player, at least not yet, but business asset. Clark's arrival in the spring of 2024 sent the league's television ratings, attendance, media rights, sponsorships, and franchise evaluations soaring. Overnight, billionaires were fighting to pay $250 million for teams of their own. Clark offered more than just logo, 3 highlights. She gave the league hope. The WNBA's #1 goal should be to take that massive base of fans who followed Clark from Iowa and turn them into fans of the entire league, not just a single player or team. It doesn't matter how or why new customers arrive. Everything should be about seizing the opportunity to make them regulars by selling them on the strong product already playing out on a nightly basis. The WNBA got handed a winning lottery ticket not seen in sports since Tiger Woods arrived on the PGA Tour. The league should stop trying to light it on fire. The latest evidence of self-sabotage comes from a conversation between WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert and Minnesota star Wetzel Collier. The specific topic was rookie contracts, which at around $75,000 per year undervalue Clark and other young talents such as Angel Reese and Paige Buchers, who brought smaller, but still valuable, fan bases and attention of their own from college. I asked how Engelbert planned to fix the fact that players like Caitlin, Angel, and Paige, who are clearly driving massive revenue for the league, are making so little for their first 4 years, Collier said in a news conference. Her response was, Caitlin should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court because without the platform the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything. Collier later added that Engelbert told her, players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal that I got them. Collier relayed the conversation as part of a screed against Engelbert over the quality of officiating, league fines to silence criticism, and other issues. All valid points, especially heading into negotiations for a new labor deal. Yet a rant about officiating, no matter how ruthlessly delivered, is pretty common. Entertaining, yes, but it would fade. Collier is very smart, however. The Clark comments she attributed to Engelbert had to have been a purposeful grenade. Clark fans were already wary of the reception she has received in the WNBA, and they have good reason. Hard fouls. Snide comments. Dismissive media commentary. The Olympics. Some of this can be brushed off as the reality of competitive sports. No one is owed a walkway of flowers. Some of it, though, is likely based on politics or pride or jealousy or rivalry or fill in the blank. At times, everything about Clark seems like a circus of contention. While Clark herself has never complained, many of her fans perceive, and perception quickly becomes reality, that Clark isn't fully welcome in the league. In turn, neither are they. Having the WNBA commissioner say Clark should be grateful because without the league she wouldn't make anything just confirms the suspicion. It also plays on an old trope that women athletes should be thankful just for the chance to play. Is this 1972? The whole thing is ridiculous, of course. Clark was doing national endorsement campaigns while still in college. By her junior season, she was more popular than any WNBA player. She arrived rich. Maybe Engelbert wasn't aware that the WNBA commissioner would have an opinion on who should be grateful to whom, let alone that she would unprofessionally express it to another active player, is almost unfathomable. It's not Clark who should thank the WNBA for her endorsements. It's the league that should thank her for the boom in business. It should count its blessings that she and the other young charismatic stars are gracing its league. I am disheartened by how Wetzel characterized our conversations and league leadership, Engelbert said as part of a statement. But even when our perspectives differ, my commitment to the players and to this work will not waver. That isn't a denial of what Collier said, Engelbert said. It also doesn't address the main issue. The absolute worst thing that could happen for the business of women's basketball is for all the new fans to think the league not only doesn't appreciate their favorite player, but is openly hostile and condescending to them. That's precisely how you don't grow a sport. They might tune in for Caitlin games or Angel and Paige games, but they now have motivation to purposely not support, watch, or care about anything or anyone else. The WNBA suddenly isn't a business that covets them as lifelong customers. It is the enemy. The WNBA has never lacked talent. It has never lacked compelling stories, transcendent athletes, or cultural relevance. What it has often lacked, however, is a unified vision of how to handle those things when they arrive wrapped in a single player. And that is what makes Wetzel Collier's recent comments so illuminating. They weren't just the words of an all-star forward reflecting on a season gone by. They were a mirror, showing us not just what one player thinks of Caitlin Clark, but what the WNBA still struggles with at its core. How it sees its brightest stars, and how it struggles to let them shine without fear of being overshadowed. Collier's words, Clark's shadow. Asked about Clark's impact and the Fever's rise, Collier offered a perspective both honest and cautious. On the one hand, she acknowledged the undeniable. Clark's presence has ignited unprecedented attention. Ratings are up. Attendance is booming. Merchandise is flying off shelves. The WNBA is part of mainstream sports conversations in a way it has never consistently been before. But then came the hesitation, the undercurrent. That tension between celebrating Clark's stardom and protecting the legacy and relevance of the veterans who built the league long before she arrived. Collier's words echoed a sentiment that's been bubbling in locker rooms, media rooms, and front offices alike. Is Caitlin Clark too big for the WNBA? It's a strange question, but one that feels uniquely WNBA. The WNBA's old dilemma. This is not the first time the league has faced this tension. From Lisa Leslie to Diana Taurasi, from Maya Moore to Aya Wilson, the WNBA has always produced stars. But it has also struggled to balance individual celebrity with collective identity. The NBA never feared letting Michael Jordan become larger than life. It leaned into it, built its marketing empire on his silhouette. The same with LeBron James, Steph Curry, and even Allen Iverson, players who shaped not just games but entire cultures. The WNBA, by contrast, has sometimes seemed wary of letting one player define too much of its image. The result? A tug-of-war between celebrating the brilliance of an individual and protecting the collective respect for the league as a whole. Clark, with her outsized college following and instant mainstream magnetism, has ripped that tension wide open. The Caitlin Clark effect. Let's be clear, Clark isn't just a good rookie. She is a phenomenon. At Iowa, she turned arenas into spectacles and TV broadcasts into record breakers. In Indiana, she has carried the Fever from irrelevance to primetime. ESPN doesn't just cut highlights, they build montages. Opposing arenas sell out because fans want to see her in person, even if it means cheering for the road team.